morning, dear hearts. We are on lesson 7, and please subscribe. The neighbors seem to be doing some construction work, so you might hear some banging and things like that. It's not you, it's not me. It's all of us. Today's lesson, I see only the past. When I first started doing the course, this was my first favorite lesson. And the reason that I immediately loved and responded to this lesson is because it takes all of the previous lessons that we've just had and ties them all up and helps them all to make sense. Like, why is it that nothing I see means anything? This is, as the lesson tells us, it's the first lesson about time. However, you know, if you've been watching, we've already mentioned this idea of time. I'm all full of spoiler alerts, and that was one of them. But let's go to today's lesson. I see only the past. This idea is particularly difficult to believe at first, yet it is the rationale for all of the preceding lessons, all the preceding ones. It's the reason why nothing you see means anything, because I see only the past. It's the reason why you have given everything you see all the meaning that it has for you, because I see only the past in everything. It's the reason why you do not understand anything you see, because I'm seeing it through past eyes and thoughts. It's the reason why your thoughts do not mean anything and why they are like the things you see, because they're all rooted in my past experiences. And it's the reason why you're never upset for the reason you think. And it's the reason why you are upset because you see something that is not there. Because all of my upsettedness, if that's a word, it is now, is coming from past experiences. So I might look at myself and think I'm here, and we talked about yesterday about time, and they're coming through, and being here now. But in truth, my thoughts aren't. My thoughts are rooted in the past, and because my thoughts are there, in truth, so am I. To continue with the lesson, it says, old ideas about time are very difficult to change because everything you believe is rooted in time and depends on your not learning new ideas about time. Yet that is precisely why you need new ideas about time. This first time idea is not really so strange as it may sound at first. Now it has, the next paragraph is talking about a cup, and that how we see the cup. And we see the cup as we see everything based on past experiences. And we look at the cup and it's like, oh, well, you know, this is the cup I have coffee out of. This is the teacup that I have in my tea in the afternoon. But all of my experiences about that cup are rooted from how I have used it. So I use this example in the past, that what if I have a cup? It's beautiful, it's bone china, it's Limoges or something like that. And I think it's so beautiful, okay? Now I hand it to a friend, and the friend looks at it and goes, yeah, okay, and hands it back. But then what if I hand it to an antique dealer? And the antique dealer is going to look at that cup and see it completely different, because the antique dealer is going to be seeing that specific cup based on his past experiences with antique items. So he will look at it, he will turn it over, he will look at the rim, he will look at the finish, and his experience of that cup will be different from my friend. It will be different from my experience of the same cup. And it's all because we're having experiences, each of us making a judgment based on the past and our previous relationships with cups. So now the fourth paragraph says, but look about you, this is equally true of whatever you look at. Acknowledge this by applying the idea for today indiscriminately as we are to do. Do not include or exclude anything. to whatever catches your eye. I see only the past in this pencil. I see only the past in this shoe. I see only the past in this hand. I see only the past in that body. And I see only the past in that face. So now, again, a spoiler alert, we can see how our past experiences and thoughts are going to influence our current relationships with that hand, that face, that body. I'm not here now when I'm looking at something that I see based on how I have thought of it and experienced it in the past. Now, the lesson is concluding with do not linger over any one thing in particular, but remember to omit nothing specifically. Include, exclude. Glance briefly at each subject and then move on to the next. 3 or 4 practice periods. Again, 3 or 4 practice periods, each to last a minute or so, will be enough. We don't have to do mind searching for this particular lesson. We just have to glance, because we're not looking within our mind to try to figure out what our past relationship is with each object. This is such a beautiful lesson, and it is showing us, beginning to show us, hint us, point us into the direction of how we experience everything, how we experience time, and for us to realize that we are not here now. We are spending a very small amount of time in the now. Hopefully, as we're doing these lessons together with these videos, you're here now. But, we have not been mindful of our experiences and our time and our thoughts. We've allowed ourselves to be completely swept away by past or propelled into the future. Seeing the past is definitely a time-bound idea. It's also a very limiting idea. To live in the past and regard everything from a past viewpoint closes the possibility of a bright future. John Kabat-Zinn popularized the idea of mindfulness years ago, and Eckhart Tolle has achieved renown with his book, The Power of Now. But both mindfulness and nowness are about the present moment, not the past and not the future. The only time, as we said yesterday, the only time there actually is and that we can actually be in is now. So let us now be here now and let everything else go. And that's it for today. I hope it helped. Maybe you realized how much I love this lesson and maybe even why. So like, share, subscribe, comment. I'm loving the comments. Smile. Smiling just changes everything. It changes our endorphins. It changes how we feel about being here now. Smile in the now moment. And breathe. Breathe in, release, and pray for the realization of being here now, where we can find our peace, and only here now. Namaste.